First day of racing proper on this year's Tirreno-Adriatico. Stage 2, one of back-to-back sprinting days, starting off in Camaiore, 219 kilometres, destination Sovichili. Well, the first of this race's categorised climbs would offer up the temptation to a breakaway of a King of the Mountains jersey. The big looping course towards the end would have played havoc had the wind blown, as per predictions. In the end, it was benign as far as the wind was concerned, but plenty of action along the way. Well, 5 riders were tempted to go in the breakaway, 2 from Elo Cometa, a brace from Bardiani as well, and joining them Marengo from Drone Hopper. Once the flag had fallen, they were busy and let go straight away. The gap went up to around 7.5 minutes, but it was a looser cord and in fact started to fracture on the day's only climb. 3 kilometres out, they were starting to battle each other for a jersey, as you'd expect. The wide open plains then giving way to lumpy terrain, which would eventually lead to the mountains between the two seas that define the race. Setting off out front, Davide Bais of Elo Cometa on the wheel of Cannavaral of Bardiani. And it was Bais that sped on to take the mountains jersey, meaning they just had to finish the day and would be guaranteed a place on the podium. Elo Cometa, one of the invitee teams, always going to be a feature, and indeed so it proved today, and it wasn't over for them. Well, Bais went through, he looked back to see where his teammate was. Francesco Gavazzi was the man he was waiting for, and ultimately Gavazzi was to go and join him, and a brace of Elo Cometa riders out front, but would they make it home? 57 kilometres is a long old distance, especially as the terrain was starting to be a feature. And even though it was non-categorised, still 4 climbs remained on the day. While Drone Hopper's Marengo almost had a technical of convenience, and indeed the breakaway was slowly but surely wound in. Doing most of the work, Lotto Soudal, of course, working hard for Caleb Ewan ultimately. But with 2 up the road, there was still a bonus second up for grabs at the intermediate sprint, rather unkindly placed at the top of a citadel. Pushing on out of the pack, who else but Tadej Pogačar, a man who knows that every second counts, and that last bonus second was to go his way. That seemed to be an action point, with Marc Soler, Pogačar's teammate, setting off up the road, well in good company of Anthony Perez, and he sped past the 2 riders from Elo Cometa, and indeed went fully committed to try and reach the line first. Well, with a final climb to be dealt with, a 6-kilometre descent leading to the flatlands to our approach, would Soler indeed go for it? Was he off script? We didn't know. He's been known to take matters into his own hands in the past, but with 6 kilometres to go, when we finally hit the flat that would be our approach, a bunch sprint was a certainty. After a compressed corner with 3.2 to go, the teams were getting themselves in colour order for a dash to the line. A gentle left-hander would define the last 350 metres. You had to be in a good position to take it. Well, they were all starting to get themselves in colour order, but in the end it was to fall to pieces. All the hard work by Groupama France de Jeux and indeed Lotto Soudal came to naught. Those who had been anonymous throughout the day were surely going to take a step forward, and so it proved to be. Peter Sagan, Total Energies had worked hard to put him in a decent position, and he went for it. That indeed encouraged others around him, and Tim Merlier hit the line first. Well out of position until the very last was Olaf Koy, the fastest finisher of the group. He got up for 2nd place remarkably, being down in 15th with 200 metres remaining. A terrific win, great work by Alpecin Fenix, making sure that Tim Merlier was out of the wind for much of the day. You have to hit the line first, and that's precisely what he did. Close at hand, Caden Groves from Team Bike Exchange, and of course the aforementioned Mr. Koy. Stage 3, to Tourney, is what we're looking forward to, and Tim Merlier has already taken a stage win. Can he repeat the feat? Koy will try and stop him, and so will some very big names who had an off day. Mark Cavendish with a light cold, he'll be back on form we hope. Likewise Christoph, Viviani, Caleb Ewan, but you've got to beat Tim Merlier, and today nobody could. Overall, Pippo Ganna leads the race by the same margin that he carried over from the time trial, save for the second that Tadej Pogačar gained on those above. Well, with an 11-second advantage only, lots can change. Intermediate sprints notwithstanding, there is, of course, a dash for the line tomorrow as the terrain gets slightly more lumpy. That could play into the hands of a breakaway. Turning our destination. Not so long with 171 kilometres. The weather's fabulous and so is the racing. You must join us.